All right, boys and girls. See, I didn't think I had to do this today, but I decided to anyway. Because I couldn't believe, you have to wonder how bad is the spin? How bad is the bubble? How bad or how hard is it for people to miss the big news and not understand what's actually going on with the Kyle Rittenhouse story? So, here's what I decided to do. CNN, Kyle Rittenhouse, I can speak this morning. Kyle Rittenhouse's trial is coming to a close. Here's what we know about the 3 men he shot. Now, one would hope that CNN would actually give Kyle a fair shake in regard to, the people he had to self-defend himself against. But we're just going to go through the first one. Away ads. The man accused of shooting 3 people, 2 fatally, during protests in Kenosha last year, standing trial this month. Defense lawyers say Kyle Rittenhouse, then 17, was acting in self-defense when he shot and killed Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum and injured Gage Grosskreutz, however you pronounce that name. We know that the judge allowed them to be called rioters and looters as opposed to victims because the judge is based. Well done. They go over the demographics of the jury because reasons. Key moments from the trial. I thought this was about the victims, but okay. Rittenhouse is now 18 and charged with 5 felonies. First-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and 2 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Jurors are also able to consider lesser offenses for 2 of the 5 counts. They basically threw the book at the kid. That this is a spray pattern. He didn't qualify for anything, so they just hoped something would stick. Here's what we know about the 2 men killed and the sole survivor of the shootings. Now, he's not a victim, he's a survivor. So stunning and brave. As I said, we're just going to cover the first one, Joseph Rosenbaum. This is what they give us about Joseph Rosenbaum. On the night of August 25th, 2020, Kenosha streets were filled with crowds protesting the police shooting of Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back and side by a Kenosha police officer who said he was trying to detain him. Now, just a refresher for everyone, Joseph Blake was abusing women and children and was lunging for a knife. This entitles you, if you're trying to get a knife while being detained by the police, to get shot. You are entitled to bullets at this point. So, going on. During those demonstrations, Rittenhouse clashed. Did he now? Is clashing the appropriate word? With a crowd gathered near a car dealership and Rosenbaum, who did not have a firearm. Rosenbaum, who did not have a firearm, threw an object that appeared to be a plastic bag at him, at Rittenhouse, and missed, according to the criminal complaint filed last year. Videos played at trial showed Rosenbaum throwing a plastic bag at Rittenhouse. His fiancée testified. Rosenbaum had just been discharged from a hospital in Milwaukee and was carrying papers, socks, deodorant, a toothbrush, and toothpaste in the bag. Rosenbaum had been discharged from the hospital after a suicide attempt, according to the Washington Post. So, a mentally unstable man decides to throw his only belongings at someone he did not intend to harm. Someone else smelling bullshit? Carrie Ann Swart, appropriate name, Rosenbaum's fiancée, testified they were both homeless when they met in 2019 and were living in a motel at the time Rosenbaum was killed. Oh, Lord. We just spent a lot of time talking, getting to know one another, and laughing and joking around. He was a very animated person like that, she said. She said Rosenbaum was on an antidepressant and medication she said was used to treat his bipolar disorder. Okay. Several clips played during the trial captured Rosenbaum briefly chasing Rittenhouse in a car source dealership before Rittenhouse fired 4 shots at him. Okay. So we're getting to know the victim. We know that he was engaged, allegedly. We know that he had a life prior to this. We know that he has mental issues. All right. One of the videos showed Rosenbaum hiding as Rittenhouse approached the lot, and then Rosenbaum began to follow him. So Rittenhouse was ambushed by Rosenbaum, right? That's how you should have put this. But of course not. We're getting to know the victims, guys. Rosenbaum and Rittenhouse moved across the parking lot, together holding hands, apparently, and appeared to be close to each other when loud bangs were suddenly heard and Rosenbaum fell to the ground. Again, it was all peaceful and daisies, right? Just smelling the poppies. Rittenhouse shot Rosenbaum 4 times, twice in the front, once in the back, and once along the side of his head, and determined the fatal shot to his back came as his body leaned forward. All while they were just holding hands and skipping through the fields of the parking lot. Surely. As Rosenbaum lay on the ground, Rittenhouse made a call on his cell phone, said, "I just killed somebody," as he ran away, because, self-defense, you still gotta kill somebody, sadly. Defense attorney argued in court that Rittenhouse feared for his life when he fatally shot Rosenbaum, because, it's not self-defense if you're just, happily skipping down the field, smelling the poppies. That's not self-defense, right? But prosecutor Binger said during closing arguments, Rittenhouse provoked the shooting by pointing his weapon at Rosenbaum and should have continued to run away instead of shooting. Except in that very same video, we see that Rittenhouse had been cornered and there was nowhere left for him to run. Left out that little tidbit, didn't ya? Rittenhouse testified he knew Rosenbaum was unarmed when he ran at the teenager and said he pointed his rifle at Rosenbaum in an attempt to deter him, adding he knew that pointing a rifle at someone is dangerous. Well, yeah, that's the point. I am dangerous, fuck off. Or find out. Rosenbaum found out, by the way. Rosenbaum had spent more than a decade in the prison in Arizona after being convicted of sexual conduct with a minor. One sentence. That one sentence. Do they elaborate? He wasn't there as a rider or a looter. Rosenbaum's fiancée previously told the Post in reference to August 25th. Why was he there? I have no answer. I ask myself that question every day. A verified GoFundMe page said Rosenbaum had a daughter. Anthony Huber. Wait, that's it? One sentence. One fucking sentence. Rosenbaum had spent more than a decade in prison in Arizona after being convicted of sexual conduct with a minor. One sentence, guys. That's all we get. Okay. Let's find out what the rest of us really know about Joseph Rosenbaum, shall we? And here we go. There was a Joseph Rosenbaum on the sex offender registry in the state of Wisconsin. DOC notified a medical examiner that Joseph Rosenbaum we had on the registry is the deceased. The conviction date. Okay, so here we go. Joseph Rosenbaum. Incarcerated, supervision. Aliases, JoJo. His nickname was JoJo. Conviction date 12/16/2002. Conviction county, out of state. Conviction state, Arizona. Case number, none. Offense code, none. Offense, sexual conduct with a minor. So, this is confirmed by the Arizona Department of Corrections, and confirmed that the middle name and the date of the Arizona offender are the same as Joseph Rittenhouse in Kenosha. So this is all tied directly to the piece of shit known as Joseph Rosenbaum. So what is the extent of the abuse with a minor? Because that is oddly vague for those of you who know or who might be accustomed with, how shall we say, sexual assault, sexual registry lists. It can that can be very vague. Was he just sleeping around with a girl who's technically 16 or 17 while he was, slightly older? No. Newly released documents obtained by Wisconsin right now from the Pima County, Arizona clerk of courts confirmed Rosenbaum was charged by a grand jury with 11 counts of child molestation and inappropriate sexual activity with children, including anal rape. The victims were 5 boys ranging in age from 9 to 11 years old. He was convicted of 2 amended counts as part of a plea deal. None of that shit made it to CNN. Somehow, we have to go to some random Wisconsin right now to figure out some bizarre, hokey, local, brewed up page with receipts, by the way. A plethora of receipts. Look at this shit. The receipts do not end. So we has receipts on Rosenbaum. We know that he did what we say he did. This is not in dispute, people. So, yes. That this is the information gap between CNN and some random hokum page for Wisconsin right now. That's how big the divide is in terms of information and who knows what about this case. It's fucking pathetic. Your media hates you. They're not going to tell you the truth about a unironic, abusive child rapist because it hurts their narrative. This is sick. And these people need to hang for not doing their jobs. As always, people. Looking forward to the verdict. As always, hope we get the right result because more communist pedophiles need to die. Stay carnal and God bless everyone. Bye-bye.